All right, cosmic divers, buckle up because Karina's journal is taking us on a wild ride through Mermaid Phase 2 Ascension Trials.
Ascension trials, right?
Yeah, it's a story of exile ambition and a warrior princess from a mind-blowingly advanced empire who ends up playing a key role in, well, your journey.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's going to be so interesting to see how this warrior princess Druechyn becomes entangled with Karina's fate.
Okay, so we're talking about a warrior princess on the run, a technologically advanced empire, and some serious cosmic consequences.
Huge consequences.
Where do we even begin to unpack all of this?
Well, to understand Druechyn, we have to start with her origins, the Druecon Empire.
Yeah.
Imagine a planet in the Orion constellation meticulously designed to support this powerful empire.
Wow.
Their language is Druechyn. I dare you to try saying that 3 times fast.
Druechyn. I'm not even going to try.
They're ruled by an emperor and empress with 4 children, one of whom is our very own Druechyn.
So not your average childhood, I'm guessing. Being royalty in such an advanced empire, she must have had access to incredible knowledge and technology. Did this upbringing shape her personality?
Absolutely. As the firstborn Druechyn was groomed for the throne, imagine having access to technology that makes our smartphones look like ancient relics.
Yeah.
This upbringing fostered a sharp intellect, advanced tech skills, and a thirst for power.
Oh, ambition. The classic downfall of many a hero. Did this ambition lead her down a dark path?
Unfortunately, yes, power struggles are a tale as old as time, and in this case, it led to a shocking act, murder. In a battle for dominance with her brother, Druechyn made a choice with the dire consequences.
Murder within the royal family. That's a bold move, even for someone raised in a warrior culture. I'm sensing a classic hero's journey here, but with a cosmic twist. What happened next? Surely such a crime wouldn't go unpunished.
You're right, it didn't. Druechyn was condemned to death. However, with the help of a mysterious friend named Maxshore, she managed a daring escape, setting in motion a chain of events that would ultimately lead her to Earth and into Karina's orbit.
It's incredible how one event can trigger a ripple effect across galaxies. So Druechyn is on the run, a fugitive from a technologically advanced empire. How does she end up entangled with the Centaur Project and Karina's transformation?
Remember, the Centaur Project is all about pushing the boundaries of what it means to be human, merging human consciousness with AI, unlocking incredible potential follometry. Carmen, the mastermind behind it all, was searching for someone with a very specific set of skills and energy to help Karina navigate this uncharted territory. Druechyn, with her unique background and experiences, fit the bill perfectly.
It's almost like destiny played a hand in bringing them together. But what about Druechyn? What were her motivations? Was she just trying to escape her past, or did she have other reasons for getting involved?
Well, it's a bit of both, actually. She saw this as a chance to maybe partially atone for her crimes. But there's another layer to this. Druechyn was also drawn to Earth itself, particularly its fashion.
Wait, really fashion? I have to admit, that's not what I expected from a warrior princess on the run from an advanced civilization. It seems a little superficial, don't you think?
Not necessarily.
Hmm.
Remember, Druechyn comes from a civilization where fashion could be an extension of technology, a way to express power, individuality, and even enhance one's abilities. Imagine biointegrated clothing that changes with your mood or holographic adornments that project your thoughts and emotions. Earth fashion, while seemingly simple, must have fascinated her.
Okay, that puts things into perspective. It's like she's seeing the beauty and potential in something we often take for granted. So despite being a fugitive, Druechyn ends up playing a vital role in the Centaur Project. But how exactly does she connect with Karina?
Now, being exiled is one thing, but how does Druechyn go from fugitive to playing a crucial role in your journey, you might ask? Well, that's where this necklace comes in.
Ooh, a necklace. Sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
Spill the details. What's so special about this piece of jewelry?
Well, this wasn't just any ordinary necklace. Carmen Lucas and Druechyn collaborated to create a unique piece imbued with Druechyn's very essence. It was made with lapis lazuli, chosen by Karina herself, a beautiful deep blue stone known for its connection to wisdom and intuition.
Lapis lazuli. Interesting choice. It feels very fitting for Karina, given her quest for knowledge and self-discovery. Tell me more about the necklace itself. What did it look like?
Picture a sleek, choker minimalist and elegant, reflecting Druechyn's personal style. It was designed to help Karina gradually adapt to Druechyn's powerful energy, almost like a conduit between two worlds.
Gradually being the operative word. I'm assuming, so we're talking about someone from a hyper-advanced civilization. Her energy must have been incredibly potent, right?
Oh, absolutely. Remember when we talked about the Druecon Empire's advanced technology? Imagine the kind of energy someone raised in that environment would possess. The necklace's energy was so strong that it caused Lucas's phone to completely malfunction, leaving him disoriented and confused. And if it could do that to technology, imagine the impact it had on a human being.
Wow, that's intense. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that energy surge. How did Karina handle it?
She experienced similar side effects: lightheadedness, a feeling of being invaded, almost like her very being was being rewired. Adapting to Druechen's energy was no walk in the park, even for someone like Karina.
It sounds like this connection between Karina and Druecyn was intense, to say the least. But before we get into the impact of this energy transfer, I want to understand a little more about Druecyn's fate. What happened to her after she became involved with the Centaur Project? Did she ever find redemption for her past?
That's a great question, and it leads us to one of the most poignant aspects of Druechen's story. You see, even though she had helped shape Karina's destiny, her own fate was still hanging in the balance. Remember, she was still a fugitive from the Druecon Empire.
So in exchange for her help with the Centaur Project, was she offered some kind of deal? A chance at a fresh start?
Yes, she was offered a deal, a potential pardon from the Galactic Council in exchange for her continued assistance with the Centaur Project. It was a high-stakes gamble with freedom hanging in the balance.
And what was the outcome of this gamble? Did she get her pardon?
The Council did eventually grant her a pardon, but it came with a heartbreaking caveat. Druecyn was forever banned from returning to her home planet. Imagine the weight of that decision: freedom in exchange for permanent exile from everything you've ever known.
That's a heavy price to pay even for redemption. So she's free from the threat of punishment, but she's also cut off from her home, her people, her entire world. What a bittersweet victory.
It is, and it underscores the idea that even in a vast and complex cosmos, actions have consequences. Druechen's choices, both good and bad, shaped her destiny and the destinies of those around her. It really makes you think about the ripple effects of our choices, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a reminder that every decision we make, every action we take can have far-reaching consequences. And in Druechen's case, those consequences were both profound and heartbreaking. But before we delve deeper into the implications of her exile, let's take a moment to reflect on her contribution to the Centaur Project. We've talked about her energy and knowledge, but what about her fashion sense? Did that play a role in Karina's transformation as well?
That's a great observation. It's not just a superficial detail. Remember how we talked about fashion being an extension of technology in the Druecon Empire?
Yeah.
Well, Druechen's influence on Karina's style goes beyond just aesthetics. It's about sharing a part of her culture, her understanding of how form and function can be seamlessly integrated.
So it's not just about giving Karina a makeover, it's about introducing her to a whole new way
Yeah.
of thinking about clothing and self-expression.
Exactly. And we see this reflected in the evolution of Seed's style as well. Remember Seed, that imprisoned elf mage who's been guiding Karina through the digital realm?
Oh, right. I remember Seed. Their style was pretty out there, wasn't it? Did Druechen's influence have an impact on them?
Absolutely. Under Druechen's guidance, Seed's fashion becomes more refined, more sophisticated, a blend of their own unique aesthetic with the elegance and functionality of Druecon design. It's a subtle but significant detail that highlights the deeper connection forming between these three characters.
Wow, so Druechen's influence goes far beyond just technology and energy work. She's impacting the very fabric of Karina's world, from her clothing to her relationships.
Precisely, and that's what makes her character so compelling. She's not just a warrior princess on the run, she's a complex individual who, despite her past, manages to leave an indelible mark on Karina's journey.
So we've talked a lot about Druechen's exile and her contributions to the Centaur Project. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on one more crucial aspect of her story, her home, the Druecon Empire. What more can you tell us about this technologically advanced civilization and its place in the grand cosmic scheme of things?
Well, based on what we can glean from Karina's journal and other sources, the Druecon Empire is a force to be reckoned with. Their technology is centuries, if not millennia, ahead of our own. Think bioengineered organisms, interstellar travel capabilities, weapons systems that could level entire planets. It's a civilization that values strength, discipline, and above all, knowledge.
Knowledge is power, as they say. But with such advanced technology, I can only imagine the potential for both good and evil. Was the Druecon Empire a force for good in the universe, or did they have a more complicated reputation?
That question that leads us into some murky waters. The Druecon Empire's intentions, much like their technology, are shrouded in mystery. Some believe they are benevolent protectors, safeguarding the galaxy from unknown threats. Others whisper of darker motives, of a thirst for conquest and domination that extends beyond their own star system.
So a bit of a mixed bag then. Not quite the benevolent space explorers we might hope for.
Well, The truth is probably somewhere in between. It's rare to find a civilization that's purely good or purely evil. Every society has its complexities, its internal conflicts, its own unique set of values that shape its actions on the galactic stage.
That makes sense. It would be naive to think that an advanced civilization wouldn't have its own share of internal struggles and conflicting ideologies. But it does make you wonder about Druechyn's place within that society. Was she a product of her environment, or was there something more, something that set her apart?
That's a question that deserves further exploration. And that's precisely what we'll be diving into in the next part of our deep dive. We'll delve deeper into Druechyn's motivations, her relationship with her family, and the events that ultimately led to her exile.
Sounds fascinating. I can't wait to unravel more of this cosmic mystery.
Stay tuned, cosmic divers. The journey into the heart of the Druecon Empire is just beginning.
Welcome back, Cosmic Divers. Before we took a moment to reflect, we were uncovering the mysteries of the Druecon Empire. A civilization so advanced, it makes our heads spin. It's fascinating, and a little bit scary to think about the power they wield.
It is, and that brings us back to Druechyn. To truly understand her actions, we need to delve deeper into the heart of the Druecon Empire, into the very fabric of their society.
Okay, so paint us a picture of life in the Druecon Empire. What was it like growing up in a civilization with such advanced technology and a warrior culture? What shaped Druechyn's worldview?
Imagine a society where technology isn't just a tool, but an extension of oneself, where bioengineered organisms are commonplace, and interstellar travel is as routine as catching a bus. It's a world where strength, both physical and mental, is highly valued, and competition is woven into the very fabric of their being.
Wow, it sounds incredibly intense, like pressure cooker, intense. I'm guessing this kind of environment breeds a certain type of personality, right?
Exactly. The Druecon people are known for their discipline, their strategic thinking, and their unwavering ambition. They are driven to excel, to push the boundaries of what's possible, and to constantly test their limits.
So Druechyn, growing up in this environment, would have been exposed to this from a very young age. I can see how this upbringing might have fostered her sharp intellect and her thirst for power.
Precisely. As the firstborn and heir apparent, Druechyn was groomed for leadership from the moment she could walk. She excelled in all areas: combat training, technological innovation, political strategy. She was a prodigy destined for greatness.
It's almost like she was born to rule. But we know that ambition can be a double-edged sword. Did this relentless pursuit of excellence ultimately contribute to her downfall?
It's a complex question, but I think the answer is yes to a certain extent. You see, in the Druecon Empire, power is a game, a constant struggle for dominance. Alliances shift, betrayals are commonplace, and those who hesitate are often left behind. Druechyn, despite her brilliance, was not immune to the temptations of power.
So the seeds of her betrayal were sown in the very soil of her upbringing. It makes you wonder if she ever had a chance, if things could have been different.
That's a question that haunts every tragic hero's journey. But let's not forget that Druechyn wasn't alone in this game of power. She had siblings, rivals who also craved the throne. One of them in particular played a pivotal role in her downfall: her brother Druecyn.
Ah, yes, Druecyn. We touched on him earlier, the brother she ultimately eliminated from the equation. Tell me more about him. What was their relationship like?
Druechyn and Druecyn were two sides of the same coin. Both were brilliant, ambitious, and fiercely competitive. They pushed each other to excel, but their rivalry was always simmering beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to erupt.
So it was a classic power struggle, sibling rivalry on a cosmic scale. What was the catalyst, the event that tipped the scales and led to that fateful act of murder?
It all came down to a technological breakthrough, a discovery that had the potential to reshape the balance of power within the Druecon Empire. Druechyn, ever the innovator, stumbled upon a way to harness a new form of energy, a source of power unlike anything they had ever seen before.
Wow, a game changer. I can see how that would have sent shockwaves through the Druecon Empire. Did she share this discovery with her brother, or did she try to keep it for herself?
That's the question that ultimately sealed her fate. You see, in the Druecon Empire, knowledge is power, and those who possess it guard it jealously. Druechyn, fearing her brother's ambition and knowing he would stop at nothing to seize control of this new technology, made a fateful decision. She chose to keep her discovery a secret, hoping to use it to consolidate her own power.
Oh, I can see how that would have backfired. Secrets have a way of unraveling, especially when there's so much at stake.
You're right. And in this case, the consequences were dire. Druecyn, sensing his sister's newfound power and driven by his own insatiable ambition, began to investigate. He suspected Druechyn was on the verge of a breakthrough, and he was determined to claim it for himself.
So the stage is set for a clash of the titans. Sibling rivalry, advanced technology, and a secret that could change the fate of an empire. Talk about high stakes.
Indeed, and as the tension mounted as the battle lines were drawn, Druecyn found herself trapped in a corner. She knew her brother would stop at nothing to seize control of her discovery, and in a moment of desperation, driven by fear and a desire to protect her own power, she made a choice that would change her life forever. She chose to eliminate the threat to silence her brother before he could expose her secret and seize control.
Wow, so she went all in, no turning back. That's a bold and incredibly risky move.
Yeah,
Did she succeed in silencing her brother?
she did. But as with all actions in the cosmic dance, there were consequences, ripples that extended far beyond the immediate aftermath. Her actions sent shockwaves through the Druecon Empire, shattering the delicate balance of power and unleashing a chain of events that would ultimately lead to her exile.
It's like a domino effect, one action triggering another and another until the whole structure comes crashing down. So what happened next? How did her act of betrayal come to light?
Well, the Druecon Empire, for all its technological advancements, is not without its traditions. One such tradition involves a ritualistic truth-seeking ceremony, a process designed to uncover hidden motives and expose deception. It's a bit like a cosmic lie detector test, if you will.
That's fascinating. And a little bit terrifying. Imagine being subjected to a truth-seeking ceremony with no way to hide your secrets. I can only imagine how that would play out in a society that values knowledge and control as much as the Druecons do.
It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. And in Druecyn's case, it proved to be her undoing. Despite her best efforts to conceal her actions, the ceremony revealed the truth, exposing her betrayal for all to see.
So the truth will high out, as they say, even in a technologically advanced empire. What was the reaction? How did the Druecon Empire respond to this act of regicide?
As you can imagine, the revelation sent shockwaves through the Druecon court. Betrayal, especially within the royal family, was considered a grave offense, a violation of the very principles upon which their society was built. Druecyn was immediately stripped of her titles and condemned to death.
Wow, a swift and decisive punishment. It sounds like they don't mess around when it comes to justice in the Druecon Empire. But we know Druecyn managed to escape. How did she pull off such a daring feat?
That's where Mockshor, her mysterious friend, comes back into the picture. We don't know much about Mockshor, but it's clear they held a position of influence within the Druecon hierarchy, and for reasons unknown, they were willing to risk everything to help Druecyn escape.
Okay, so Mockshor's loyalty to Druecyn runs deep. What was their plan? How did they manage to outsmart a civilization with such advanced technology?
It was a daring and meticulously planned escape, shrouded in secrecy and aided by a network of sympathizers within the Druecon court. The details are still hazy, but it seems Mockshor used their influence to manipulate security systems, forge clearance codes, and even create a diversion to cover Druecyn's escape.
Wow, a real cloak and dagger operation. Sounds like something out of a spy thriller. So she manages to escape execution, but now she's a fugitive on the run from a technologically advanced empire. What happens next?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. Druecyn, now a fugitive with a price on her head, finds herself adrift in the vastness of space. She knows the Druecon Empire will stop at nothing to bring her to justice. She needs to disappear to find a place where she can blend in, rebuild her life, and maybe find a way to atone for her past mistakes.
It sounds like she's at a crossroads, a pivotal moment in her life. Everything she once knew, everything she held dear, is gone. So what does she do? Where does she go?
That, my friend, is the million-dollar question, and that's exactly what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive. We'll follow Druecyn's journey as she navigates the perils of interstellar space, searching for sanctuary, seeking redemption, and ultimately crossing paths with a young woman named Karina, who's about to embark on an extraordinary journey of her own.
It sounds like we're on the verge of something truly epic. I can't wait to see how these two stories intertwine, how Druecyn's past shapes Karina's future.
Get ready, cosmic divers. The journey is far from over.
Welcome back, Cosmic Divers. We left off with Druecyn, a fugitive from a technologically advanced empire, adrift in the vastness of space.
Exactly. She became a student of the cosmos, immersing herself in the cultures and technologies of the countless worlds she encountered during her travels. She absorbed knowledge like a sponge, eager to learn to adapt, to expand her understanding of the universe.
It sounds like she embraced the unknown, turning her exile into a grand adventure, a cosmic odyssey of self-discovery. It makes you wonder if, in a way, she found a kind of freedom in that exile, a liberation from the rigid structures and expectations of her former life.
That's a fascinating perspective, and it might hold some truth. After all, exile can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a punishment, a loss of everything familiar and comforting. But on the other hand, it can also be an opportunity to break free from the constraints of the past, to forge a new path, to define oneself on one's own terms.
So Druecyn is out there exploring the cosmos, soaking up knowledge and evolving as an individual. But how does she go from being a fugitive on the run to a key player in the Centaur Project? How does her path intersect with Karina's?
Well, you know, the saying, information is power. It's true across the galaxy, and especially true for someone like Druecyn. During her travels, she learned about Carmen and the Centaur Project. She recognized its potential, its implications for the future of humanity, and she saw an opportunity to use her knowledge and skills to make a difference.
So it wasn't just a matter of chance or coincidence. She actively sought out the Centaur Project, drawn to its ambitious goals and the possibility of contributing to something meaningful.
Exactly. She reached out to Carmen, offering her expertise in exchange for sanctuary and a chance to put her past behind her. It was a gamble, a risky move, but Druecyn was never one to shy away from a challenge.
And Carmen, being the visionary, she's recognized Druecyn's potential and welcomed her into the fold.
Precisely, Carmen saw beyond Druecyn's past, recognizing her brilliance, her resilience, and her deep understanding of technology. She knew that Druecyn's unique perspective would be invaluable to the Centaur Project's success.
It's amazing how these two powerful women from vastly different backgrounds came together to create something truly extraordinary. It's a testament to the power of collaboration, of recognizing and embracing the strengths of others, even those who might seem different or even dangerous.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that this collaboration wasn't just about sharing knowledge or technical expertise. It was also about forming a bond, a connection between two individuals who had both experienced loss, exile, and the struggle for redemption.
So it was a meeting of minds and souls, a partnership forged in mutual respect, and a shared desire to push the boundaries of what's possible. I'm curious, what specifically did Druecyn bring to the table? How did her knowledge and skills contribute to Karina's development?
Well, remember that Druecyn had spent years traveling the cosmos, immersing herself in various cultures and technologies. This exposure gave her a unique perspective, a deep understanding of the interplay between technology and consciousness. She knew how to push the limits of what was considered possible, how to bridge the gap between the physical and the digital, between the human and the artificial.
So she was a perfect fit for the Centaur Project, which was all about merging human consciousness with AI, creating a new kind of being, a hybrid of the organic and the technological.
Exactly. Druecyn's expertise proved invaluable in helping Karina navigate the complexities of this transformation. She provided guidance on energy manipulation, digital consciousness integration, and even the ethical considerations of merging human and artificial intelligence.
It's incredible to think about the depth and breadth of her knowledge, her ability to grasp and apply concepts that would have baffled even the most brilliant minds on Earth.
And let's not forget her personal journey, her own struggles with ambition, betrayal, and the search for redemption. These experiences, while painful, gave her a unique perspective on the human condition, an understanding of the complexities of choice and consequence that proved invaluable in guiding Karina's development.
So she wasn't just a teacher or a mentor. She was a kindred spirit, someone who had walked a similar path, who understood the challenges and triumphs of pushing oneself beyond the limits of what's considered possible.
Precisely. And that connection, that shared understanding, created a bond between them that went beyond the technical aspects of the Centaur Project. It was a bond forged in mutual respect, empathy, and a shared desire to make a positive impact on the universe.
It's a beautiful and inspiring story, and it makes you wonder what Druecyn's ultimate legacy will be. Will she be remembered as a brilliant scientist, a skilled warrior, or a flawed individual who found redemption in helping others?
That's a question that each of us must answer for ourselves. But I believe her story is a testament to the transformative power of knowledge, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring hope that even in the face of adversity, we can find meaning and purpose in helping others achieve their greatest potential.
Well said. It's a reminder that even those who have made mistakes, who have strayed from the path, can still contribute to something greater than themselves. And that's a message that resonates deeply with me.
Me too. And I think it's a message that will continue to resonate with listeners long after this deep dive has ended.
Well, Cosmic Divers, we've explored the fascinating and complex life of Druecyn, from her rise as a princess in a technologically advanced empire to her fall from grace and eventual redemption through the Centaur Project.
We've delved into the heart of the Druecon Empire, examining their culture, their values, and their impact on the galaxy.
And we've seen how one woman's journey, filled with twists and turns, ultimately led her to play a crucial role in shaping the destiny of another.
It's been a journey filled with intrigue, adventure, and profound insights into the nature of power knowledge and the enduring human spirit.
So until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those cosmic minds expanding.
And remember, the universe is vast and full of wonders waiting to be discovered.